everybody! Today I'm going to be talking about the tragically yet beautiful book that is We Were Liars by Lockhart. Now I'm going to give you two options today. The first option is that you leave this video now, you go pick up We Were Liars, you forget about the buzz because let's be honest, there's a lot of buzz and hype surrounding this book. You go into this book without any expectations, you don't know anything about the plot, and you just read it for what it is. So that's the option I'm giving you now. So if you want that option, leave now or forever hold your peace. The second option I'm going to give you is a vague description of the plot. But trust me when I say that you will get more out of this book if you go into it without any expectations or knowing anything about the plot. So I warned you. So now I'm going to be giving you a vague description of what happens in this book. We Were Liars is about a family that may look like they have it all, but in reality, they're a wreck. There are three sisters, each with their own family, and the three sisters are doing everything in their power to get something from their rich father. The story follows the daughter of one of these sisters, and her name is Cadence, or Katie, and we get a peek of what Cadence's life is like on a private island with her three friends who call themselves the Liars. Now, if that sounds interesting to you, definitely go pick up this book. But for now, I'm going to be jumping into a spoilery section. I have some things to say about this book, some things that I want to discuss with some of you guys that have read this book, so let's talk about it. I first want to talk about the writing in this book because I found it just absolutely striking. We have lines like this. Then he pulled out a handgun and shot me in the chest. I was standing on the lawn and I fell. The bullet hole opened wide and my heart rolled out of my ribcage and down into the flower bed. Blood gushed rhythmically from my open wound, then from my eyes, my ears, my mouth. It tasted like salt and failure. What? When I first read that line, I was like, is that the shocking part of the story? Is that what the buzz is about? People are talking about her dad and how he just pulled out a handgun and shot her. It's lines like that throughout this book that just make you step back and go, did that really just happen? Or was that just a metaphor? And then 5 minutes later, you realize, okay, that was just a metaphor. I feel like the writing is just very hazy too. The author does a fantastic job of describing every little detail, but it's almost as if you can't see everything too clearly. As you're reading this book, it's really hard not to theorize what is happening to Cadence or what has happened to her, what this tragic event in her life was. So I'm going to share with you some of my ridiculous theories, and you guys should definitely share some of your theories that you had throughout this book down in the comments because I had a few ridiculous ones. The first theory I had was that Gat cheated on Cadence with Mirren and got her pregnant. We see several scenes throughout this book with Mirren and how sick she is, so I was quick to judge the fact that maybe Gat got her pregnant and that's this big secret that Gat is hiding from Cadence and why he's so sorry. And I thought that Johnny was just kind of in on the secret because Cadence sends out emails to each of them and none of them reply. They all ignore her. And I mean, it kind of made sense to me because they call themselves the Liars, so I doubt that they would even hesitate lying to each other. My second theory was that Gat had shoved Cadence into the water and that's when she had a collision with some rocks or something and caused her to have major memory loss. But as I got closer to the ending, I found that to be something that wasn't really possible. And then my third theory was just that the three Liars were all in on Cadence's tragedy and that they had all contributed to it, but were just lying to her, were keeping her out of the loop, and that at some point down the road we would learn what had happened. Then we get this big reveal, and honestly, I was so shocked. I know that quite a few people who have read this book have caught on to what has happened in the end. Me, on the other hand, I didn't see it coming. The way that everything just comes together in the end was incredible to me. You think about the things that you see throughout the story and it just starts to click, it just starts to fall into place and it just makes sense. My heart honestly started racing as I read the first few lines of the last sections of the book, and I just couldn't help but feel so sad. You see, the thing is, I didn't really feel like I had any connections to any of the characters. I really did not care about any of them. But then I get to the end part where you find out that they've perished in a fire, and I cared. I cared that they died. I felt so sad. And it was at that moment that I realized that I might not have liked them throughout the story, but I had grown to like them. I had grown to care for them. Also, did anybody feel as sad as I did when you found out that the dogs were trapped in one of the rooms and they died? I was so sad. I think I was more sad about the dogs than the Liars. Does that say anything about me? I hope not. Another thing that just made me so sad was the fact that this is what it took for the sisters to realize what they were doing was wrong. For the grandfather to realize the way that he was acting was unacceptable. How horrible of a wake-up call to have, to realize how screwed up your life is and how you don't care about anything but yourself and your own gain. This is a book that will stick with me for forever. I'm still thinking about it, and I read it a few days ago, like 4 days ago, and I still can't stop thinking about the characters and how sad this book is, but at the same time how beautiful it is. It's a tragic story, but it's a beautiful story. I also think that I will definitely be rereading this in the future. Knowing the ending, I think it'd be so interesting to go back and to just look at all the clues and just to see how everything ties in together. I think that would be awesome, so I'm definitely going to be doing that in the future. So you guys should definitely let me know down below some of the ridiculous theories that you guys had, if you had any ridiculous theories. I might have been the only one that had this ridiculous of theories, but let me know down below. Also, let me know your overall thoughts on this book. I personally loved this book, and I want to know what you guys thought about it. So let me know down below, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Thanks for watching. Later. The motto that I wrote on my hand is a little bit cliche, but it says, take more chances, because I don't take enough chances in life, but I feel like I've started to take more chances in my life, so that's good. Huzzah!